You're able to see now?
Yes, ma'am. Now it is visible. Kindly make it as a full view, ma'am.
Yeah, I will. Now we are able to see?
Yes, ma'am. Please go
Okay.
ahead, ma'am. Thank you.
So, very good afternoon, friends. As the first lecture, we just wanted to give you a brief account of how IMR is designated as Global Center of Excellence on millets for research and development. So I just would like to take you across the presentation and so you can understand how it is the Center of Excellence. So if you all know that millets, these are a group of highly variable small seeded grasses widely grown around the world as food and fodder. And if you talk of millets, we have major millets, minor millets, and exotic millets. Major millets are jowar, that is sorghum, bajra, that is pearl millet, ragi, that is finger millet. These three occupy about 95% of the total millet area, followed by minor millets, which include foxtail millet, kodo millet, little millet, barnyard millet, rosa millet, brown top millet. These contribute to total 5% of the area in the country. We also have exotic millets like teff and fonio, but very little information and material is there in India. And you all are aware that Government of India has renamed these nutri-cereals, other millets like jowar, bajra, ragi, and other millets, including these, as nutri-cereals for production, consumption, and trade point of view by Gazette notification that was issued way back in 2018, that is on 13th April 2018. And recently, Honorable Prime Minister of India has termed them as ShreeAnna. That means they are the superior food, superfoods, because of their richness and the nutritional values and their nutritional superiority. So if you look into the global millet statistics, at the global level, millets are cultivated in about 74 million hectares, contributing to a global production of 89.17 million tons, of which 90% of the total millet production is contributed by sorghum and pearl millet. And India contributes to 20% of the total global millet production. And India is the fifth largest exporter of millets. And if you see, India is the largest producer and consumer of millets. Here, the other countries which are in line after India are Niger, Sudan, Nigeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, Chad, Ethiopia, USA, China, Mexico, Brazil, like that. And if you look into the cultivation of millets in India, the different states, here millets are majorly cultivated in Rajasthan, followed by Maharashtra, Karnataka, UP, MP, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Haryana, Andhra Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and others to a minimal level. And if you look into India at the national level, millets are grown, cultivated in about 13.60 million hectares with a production of 18.02 million tons and a productivity of 1322 kg per hectare. And India is the topmost producers of barnyard millet, finger millet, kodo millet, little millet, and pearl millet. If you look into the millet genetic improvement at the national level, we have this National Millets Research Network, which is at Indian Institute of Millets Research. Indian Institute of Millet Research, it has right now 2 research stations, one at Solapur and the other off-season nursery at Warangal. And also it has 3 ASRPs, that is ASRP and sorghum, pearl millet, and small millets. Under these ASRPs, we have different centers working on for the improvement of these respective millets. For sorghum, 18 centers are working. For pearl millet, 12 centers are working. For small millets, 13 centers are working. And if you see till date, we have 144 central releases through sorghum, 257 central releases, including hybrids and varieties in pearl millet, 118 central releases through small millets. And for the information of the audience, we would like to show how IIMR has evolved In 1958, it was just established as a center for millet improvement. In 1966, it gained the Regional Research Center for Crop Research status. In 70, it became the coordination unit for sorghum. In 87, the National Research Center for Sorghum was established. In 95, we had an off-season nursery at Warangal. And in 2009, it has been upgraded to the level of directorate. And in 2015, all the research on millets was brought under one umbrella of, that is IIMR, that is Indian Institute of Millets Research. And in 2023, it has been upgraded as Global Center of Excellence on Research and Development in Millets. So if look into one after the other different millets, pearl millet, it is grown at the global level on about 30.93 million hectares with a global production of 30.09 and a productivity of 973 kg per hectare. At the national level, it is cultivated in about 7.41 million hectares with a production of 9.35 million tons and a productivity of 1391 kg per hectare. And if you see, the major states growing pearl millet are Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Gujarat, UP, Haryana, then followed by Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka. At the global level, India, Chad, Sudan, Nigeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, to some extent in China, and then to some extent in other countries like USA, Russia, like this. So just now I mentioned about what were the states that were growing pearl millet in India. If you look into the requirements of different varieties or hybrids in pearl millet, these requirements are based on the agroecologies where pearl millet is cultivated. We have different zones, agroecological zones like A1 zone, which is in the northwestern part of India. Then A zone, which is extending from this end to this end. And B zone, that is including all the southern parts of India. So the climatic requirement and rainfall availability in these agroecologies are different. So depending on those conditions, what are the varieties required for these climatic conditions are decided, and we have different product profiles for these different agroecologies. So for A1 zone, it occupies about 3.5 to 4 million hectares in the country. We prefer short duration hybrids in populations that mature in 70 days. And the kind of material we prefer are dual purpose types, high yielding types with high tailoring, early maturing, downy mildew resistance, blast resistance, and seedling stress tolerance, along with iron and zinc. Then in A zone, that is here, the annual rainfall received is more than 400 mm annual rainfall to an extent of 1000 mm. And the material or the genotypes which we prefer in this area are medium duration hybrids and populations that can mature from 71 to 80 days. And this area of A zone occupies about 2 to 2.5 million hectares. Again, the material suit will be like this: dual purpose, high yielding, downy mildew, blast resistance, and all these characters. Then the southern part of India that covers and comes under B zone. Here the area is about 1 to 1.5 million hectares. Again, the type of material preferred is high yielding, downy mildew, and blast resistance along with iron and zinc. Apart from these three, we also have a special segment called summer pearl millet, which is grown in about 0.4 million hectares, or that is 4 lakh hectare area, where the material preferred is medium to late duration hybrids maturing in more than 80 days, along with high yield, dual purpose type, downy mildew, blast resistance, and iron and zinc. So these are the different product profiles we have for different zones. This is for A1 zone. These are the material we already have: HHB 67 improved, MPMH 21, MPMH 35, RHB 223. These are all the released hybrids which are in cultivation in this A1 zone. Then coming to A zone, this is a product profile as I have mentioned already. And these are the released hybrids, that is MPMH 17, GHB 905, and many others are there which are in cultivation in the farmers' fields. And coming to the B zone, this is the product profile I mentioned already. And these are the hybrids which were released, and the AHB 1269, AHB 1200, many others are there, and varieties like Dhanashakti are also available. And these are the ones which are preferred in the late maturity group. Mostly in the late maturity group, we have material coming from private sector, and the product profile is like this. And this is one of the example, that is 86M86. And here again, this is for the summer cultivation. We have these are the two hybrids which are popular and in summer cultivation. Pearl millet, apart from being a good grain crop, is also a good fodder crop because of all these good traits like wider adaptation, great drought tolerance, high biomass potential, short duration, rapid growth, all these things. And you have good area in these states like Rajasthan, Gujarat, Haryana, UP, Maharashtra, MP, Uttarakhand. And for as fodder crop, it is taken up in both rainy and summer seasons. And we have all these things in case of pearl millet. So till date, we have about 195 hybrids and 265 varieties released in pearl millet. And we can see if it's taken an average of 5 years interval, the productivity of pearl millet starting from 1951, 55 to the present day, it is continuously increasing. That shows there is a genetic improvement in the production and productivity of the genotypes that were released during the course of time. So I would like to bring to the knowledge of the participants that pearl millet is the only crop which has taken a lead in addressing and transforming from food security to nutritional security. Why and how is it? Because we have mainstreamed the nutritional traits. The nutritional traits here we are talking of are the grain micronutrient content, that is grain iron and grain zinc. We have taken a decision, a collective decision, that iron and zinc will be part of promotion criteria in the All India Coordinated Pearl Millet Trials. And this is the first of its kind policy in the world in cultivar development. No other crop could dare to introduce these benchmark levels of micronutrient content in the release policy or identification policy or the promotion policy. So we have started implementing this from 2017 till date. We have about 40 hybrids identified for release and are in cultivation and are in seed production. And coming to sorghum, it is grown in globally in 41.55 million hectares with a production of 64.36 million tons and a productivity of 1548 kg per hectare. And if you look into the national level at the in India, it is grown for grain sorghum in an extent of 4.37 million hectares and as far as sorghum in 4 million hectares, and the production and productivity are given here. So sorghum is also cultivated for different purposes as grain sorghum in the Kharif, as grain sorghum in the Rabi, then summer grain sorghum, forage sorghum, single cut, forage sorghum, multi-cut. Then we also have sorghum cultivated for biofuel production, sweet sorghum, all these things. And these are the major states which are growing up for sorghum, growing sorghum for these different purposes. And this is the extent of area available for these things. And this is the productivity. So if you see into the product profiles of sorghum, we have extra early sorghums, medium sorghums, and rice fellow sorghums. Extra early sorghums, we have varieties which flower in less than 60 days and mature in less than 100 days with a grain production potential of 3 tons per hectare and stover yield of 10 tons per hectare. And here, if you look into early material, early types, we have hybrids which are maturing which are flowering in 61 to 65 days and maturing in 101 to 105 days with a grain yield potential of 3.5 tons and stover potential of more than 11 tons. Then if you come to the medium maturity group hybrids and varieties, these flower during 66 to 70 days with a maturity of 106 to 110 days, and then production potential of 4,300, that is 4.3 tons per hectare, stover yield of more than 12 tons per hectare. And here for the dual purpose varieties, you can see The grain yield is nearly more than 3.5 tons per hectare. Stover yield is more than 15 tons per hectare. And if you see into the rice fallows hybrids, this is the one where you have maximum grain yield. And here the productivity is more than 5 tons per hectare. And the grain is very bold, and the material is also lodging resistance and very congenial and convenient to grow. So these are some of the popular Kharif grain sorghum hybrids, CSH 14, 30, and 42. And these are some of the varieties, popular varieties like CSV 15, 20, 27, 31, 41. And we also have some red grain varieties. And if you look into the post-rainy or the Rabi sorghum product profiles, we have two types, early duration and medium duration. Early duration means it flowers around 65 days and matures around 110 days with a production of 1 ton per hectare and stover yield of more than 3.5 tons per hectare. And similarly, but if you look into the quality aspect in the Rabi sorghum, their grains are lustrous, bold grains, and the grain and roti quality is very good. Then we have the sorghum product profiles for forage purpose. We have either single cut or multi-cut. And these are the ones in zone 1, zone 2, where you can take up these single cut and multi-cut types. And this is the production potential of the green fodder, that is 45 to 50 tons per hectare. Here also we have 45 to 50 tons. In irrigated condition, if you see under the multi-cut types, you have 95 to 105 tons per hectare, and dry fodder is 25 to 30 tons per hectare. These are the different types of forage sorghum. We have single cut forage, then we have the multi-cut forage. Then sorghum is also grown for industrial purposes, like it is grown for food and starch industry, for growing for feed for the poultry, for potable alcohol, livestock development through quality forage, then sweet stock juice for biofuel industry. There are many potentials uses of sorghum, and we have many genotypes developed for these requirements. Coming to next millet is finger millet. It is adapted to diverse environmental condition. It is rich in calcium. And here it is taken up as a direct seeded crop or a transplanted crop with high productivity. Here again, it is grown in both high productive environments or northern or hilly regions, or it is also cultivated as a summer irrigated or a rabi crop. And these are the different features of these different ecologies. And these are the suitable varieties for these different agroecologies where finger millet cultivation can be taken up. Here, the major limitation for the breeders is because if you see the finger millet spikes, they are having very tiny spikelets and the flowering is irregular, and the success rate of existing crossing techniques to create variability is very less. At the global level, it is grown in only 22 lakh hectares with a production of 37.94 lakh tons, and the productivity is 17-18 kg per hectare. In India, it is grown in 12.32 lakh hectares with a production of 19.98 lakh tons and productivity of 1724 kg per hectare. And these are the states that grow finger millet, the ones which are shown in dark blue or light blue conditions. So these are the problems we have in taking up crossing in finger millet to create variability. Still, our people were able to overcome these and standardize the crossing technique using hot water method. And these are some of the crosses which have been effected. And you can see the kind of variability that was produced in finger millet. You can see good grain filling and then pigmented plant types with the dark grains, non-ledging plant types, and also long fingers. You can see the fingers here, the fingers here, the fingers here. You can see a large amount of variability in the fingers, the shape, the structure, the thickness, the length, and all these things. So here in finger millet also, we have different product profiles. Those things which are suitable for southern part of India and the other ones for the northern part of India. In these also, we have early, medium, late, and irrigated. And in the northern part also, we have early and medium type of product profiles depending on the agroclimatic conditions. Coming to improved finger millet. These are the different finger millet varieties, and you can see the pictures here. I'm not going to go in detail and explain each and everything because of the paucity of time. These are the popular recently released finger millet varieties. You can again see the difference in the size, shape, and fingers, colors, and thickness. Next millet I would be talking about is foxtail millet, that is Setaria italica. Again, it is a short to medium duration millet that is adaptable to range of environmental conditions. And it is responsive to nutrient management. That means if you put more amount of nutrients, it will grow number of tillers and more grain and all. It is medium dwarf varieties are non-lodging and are hence suitable for mechanical harvesting. And at the global level, it is grown only in 10.57 lakh hectares with a production of 22.9 lakh tons and a productivity of 2,160 kg or 2 tons per hectare. If you look into India, the area is only 13,990 hectares with a production of 6,657 and yield is 636 kg per hectare. Here we have two different product profiles based on the agroecology, where it is grown, either it is early duration or medium duration. And the number of varieties released in India in foxtail millet, we have about 35. And these are the different characters. Early means it will be flowering in less than 40 days. Medium means around 41 to 55 days. And these are the recently released foxtail millet varieties. These are some of the pictures and the details. Next millet I would be touching upon is barnyard millet. This is rich in dietary fiber and it is valued both for grain and fodder, and it is adaptable to different soil types. If you remember, in most of the North Indian houses and also in southern part of India, when people are on fast, they eat samag, samaki chawal, samaki kheer, all these things. So that samag is nothing but your barnyard millet. So this is part and parcel of our cultural practices as well. So here the major ecologies that grow barnyard millet are northern hilly regions and southern plains. And these are the characters and details which are essential for these varieties that can grow in these two different conditions. So at the global level, we do not have much. It's only 0.594 lakh hectares and 0.834 lakh ton production and 1,287 kg per hectare. So if you see, it is grown only in India. So the international or global level values are same as with our national values. So these are the improved varieties of barnyard millet. Coming to the next millet, that is proso millet. This is one millet which has a very high industrial value and also lots of potential, because it is a millet with highest grain protein content to a tune of 14 to 18%. And it is the shortest of all the millets like pearl millet, which can fit into diverse cropping conditions. So these are the latest improved varieties of proso millet. Next millet I would be speaking is about, here in proso millet, you also have the potential of extracting protein. So people are talking of plant-based proteins, and this is a very good potential candidate to produce lots of plant-based protein from this crop. The next millet is kodo millet. It is again adapted to hilly ecology and is salinity stress tolerant type. It's rich in dietary fiber and antioxidants, and it is traditionally consumed as rice and highly palatable. So many people in tribal areas and other hilly areas, they have been consuming kodo millet, and it is a part of the dietary habits of those people residing in these areas. So these are the popular or the latest improved varieties of kodo millet, and these are the pictures and these are the details. Next millet I would be touching upon is little millet, that is Panicum sumatrans. Here, again, this millet is also a very good millet which matures in 85 to 90 days. Here it is more looking like the rice. If you see from far, you will get confused whether it is rice or little millet, unless and until you go closely and observe it. We have different types of races called Nana and Robusta, where here we have in Nana type high tillers, early maturing, but the problem here is shattering. Whereas in the other type, we have Robusta, where it has high fodder yield and late maturing, and the grain is non-shattering type. And the breeders are trying to bring in both the good characters into one genotype. And these are the latest varieties of little millet that were released for cultivation. And then these are the materials we have at IIMR, and how people are trying, how our breeders are struggling to come up with improved varieties with high nutrient contents. So these are the latest released little millet varieties. These are the improved little millet varieties. So apart from this, apart from the traditional breeding program, we also have marker-assisted breeding program, transgenics. We are working on transgenics, but no transgenic has been released. And we have genomics as part of our breeding program or crop improvement program to increase production and productivity of millets. Then we also use speed breeding techniques to advance the generations. We're also using genome editing to address some issues of rancidity and also look for herbicide tolerance in sorghum. So whenever we talk of millets, people say there is a decline in area of millets, how we are going to address. So friends, I want to show you this red line is the area we are talking of. So the area has come down from about 35 hectares or about nearly 37 million hectares to right now what we have about 13.7 or so million hectares. But if you look into the production and productivity, you see the production started somewhere here and the production is here till now here. But if you look into the productivity, that is the green line, it is constantly improving with time. The same case I have shown in case of pearl millet. The story is the same in other millets as well. So if you see the number of cultivars that were released in millets and notified during the last 10 to 12 years, you see how many varieties have been released and how many of them are national releases. And of these millets, pearl millet is a highly cross-pollinated crop and sorghum is an often cross-pollinated crop, and the rest are self-pollinated crops. Apart from these, IIMR also holds the millet germplasm. Here we are showing about the global status of millet holdings. In Africa, this is the extent. In Asia, this is the extent of germplasm. In USA, Europe, and other places. And if you look into the germplasm conservation global and national gene banks, here you can see the National Gene Bank at NBPGR and the medium term gene bank at IIMR. You can see almost similar quantities of germplasm is being maintained as equivalent to that of National Gene Bank at NBPGR. Here we have them at IIMR as well. So apart from maintaining the genetic resources or the germplasm at the gene bank, we're also able to identify the good genetic resources or the germplasm accessions with good desired qualities and traits. And we are successful in registering so many genetic stocks in different millets. So the previous one was in 2021. This is in 21 to 22. These are 18. So we are trying to identify those germplasm accessions with good characters. So friends, on one hand, we are trying to improve the millets and also taking care of the genetic resources. Now, not only these two, if we have to reach the farmers, we need to have the seed. And that, if you look into the seed systems of millets in India, we have breeder seed production through breeder seed units located in universities, institutes, companies, and also seed growers who multiply, take up production of foundation seed, and then farmers who take care of production of certified seeds, or some other companies or agencies which take up certified seed production, and then those farmers who also consider their own seeds, farm seeds, and propagate. And as I have mentioned, in pearl millet, it is a highly cross-pollinated crop which has hybrids, composites, and an often cross-pollinated category, we have sorghum, wherein again you have hybrids and varieties, and the remaining all small millets are self-pollinated varieties. Apart from taking up seed production, we also are involved in extension research and outreach. So we take up assessment assessment of what is there in the farmer's field and what are the lacuna they are having and what are the drawbacks. So we try to fill those gaps and see that the technology is disseminated in proper time and proper format. And then we encourage the farmers to take up diversified millet-based farming. Then we have farmer-led extension in tribal areas. We are also supporting the farmers in cultivating the sweet sorghums in rice fallows. And we have developed many ICT tools to facilitate millets marketing through our millet marketing and Android app that is available on the mobile. We have such 8 WhatsApp groups also created for millet extension. So not only through this, we are also promoting millets through our farm collectives like KVKs, farmers producers organizations, frontline demonstrations, and new niche areas. And we have so many FPOs promoted by IIMR, which are located in different states. And these are all the data of the FPOs supported by IIMR in millets. So this is the FPO model of ICAR-IIMR, wherein we are supporting the farmer, starting from farmer. We are showing them the ways and means to get the credit and loan. And we are also taking them to custom hiring centers. We are supporting them in millets aggregation, in storage in the warehouses. We're also helping them in processing and value addition, and also giving them directions and support in market accessibility through our farm input centers, and trying to help the farmers through our FPOs in various activities related to millet cultivation. So we also have FPOs set up located in different states in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, MP. We have this many numbers. And these FPOs are also supported by different agencies in different states. So here you can see in Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh. Apart from this, we also are supporting people and farmers through millet processing, through giving information and trainings on this machinery. And we also have come up with different technologies for value-based addition, value-added product development, like cold extrusion, hot extrusion, puffing, flaking, baking, development of instant mixes, development of beverages, development of fast foods, the development of plant-based proteins, development of nanostarch. So many things are there on the platter, and we are looking into the ways and means of developing these, and already we have information and technologies available. We have about 67 millet-based value-added products, and we are commercializing them through our through startups and through our ITMU unit. These are the different machinery developed for millet processing, like destoner cum aspirator cum grader. We have large-scale primary processing facility at IIMR. We also have a flatbread making machine available. We have large-scale biscuit making machinery and assembly available for making all these facilities at IIMR. So if you look into what are the technologies that are involved in millet processing and value addition. So through primary processing, using dehulled grains, we can go for flour or semolina. Through secondary processing, you can go for flaking, baking, extrusion, puffing. Through advanced processing, you can come up with dairy analogs or meat analogs or composite foods. So we have about 77 millet value added technologies ranging from flour to these segments. So IMR consortium-led interventions, we have on-farm production through technology backstopping. We are involved in diversification of processing technologies. We're involved in nutritional evaluation and certification, involved in commercialization. We're involved in promotion and popularization, entrepreneurship development. So many things we are taking up simultaneously at different levels with different partners. So we're also trying to break the inconvenience through innovation, through nutrition profiling, development of product-specific cultivars, diversified technologies. And since millets lack gluten, we are also trying to manipulate the things using alternatives for glutens. So these are the different product technologies. We have puffing, flaking, baking, cold extrusions, hot extrusion, fortified technology mixes and recipes. And we have contemporary recipes, traditional recipes, and international recipes developed with millets. Also, we have international recipes, and we have our international recipe book, cuisine prepared from millets, and that book is published by IMR and is distributed all over the world through our embassies, and it is in a great demand. You can see from international recipes to our national local domestic cuisines. So we have our own brand, IMR brand, ready to eat products named under the name Eat Right. So these are all the products available under the Eat Right. We're also nurturing entrepreneurship through our NutriHub, that is a technology business incubation unit available at IIMR. And through IIMR, these many startups and millet startups incubated and so much of fund and all these things are in place. We have 3 incubation programs running, that is agribusiness incubation, RKV by Raftar by DFW, and Nidhi by DST. And these are the backward and forward linkages for promotion of millets. And these are the various startups supported by NutriHub. And we have so many of value addition, commercialization, entrepreneurship, and outreach. And these are the different products and that are being licensed to about 170 entrepreneurs. And these are our core programs, Engrain and Nest, which identify and support the startups to come up with innovative products and technologies and their own business. So this is the infrastructure available at IIMR. We have the Center of Excellence, we have different facilities, and we are also involved in development of Food Safety and Standards Act, FSSAI standards regarding millets, and that was recently released by Honorable Prime Minister of India on 18th March. And these are the things. We're also involved in policy advocacy to the government. We have published white paper on millets. We have come up with a position paper on planning of policies, actions, and programs to run up for International Year of Millets. And we have position paper on millets for how to mainstream millets for nutrition, improve livelihood, and ecological benefits. And as you all are aware, with all these things in place and all these efforts being continued, our Honorable Prime Minister of India has elevated IMR and dedicated IMR as Global Center of Excellence on Millets, that is ShreeAnna, on 18th March 2023. So under this, we have many activities to be taken up. This would be supporting, enhancing production and productivity, scaling up of millet value chain, South-South cooperation, mainstreaming millets, and extension and outreach. Apart from this, under the G20 initiative, we have come up with a initiative called Maharishi, that is Millet and Other Ancient Grains International Research Initiative, which should be focusing solely on development and promotion of millets with these objectives. So thank you all for your kind attention. Eat millets and stay healthy. Thank you very much.
Yeah, madam. Thank you so much, madam, for the detailed presentation about the IMR, how it is elevated to the Global Center of Excellence on Millets R&D. Ma'am, due to the paucity of time, so we'll take up 1 or 2 questions that are relevant to your presentation. Dr. Neetu Dobal, she is asking that does IMR have the facility of analyzing various nutrients, antioxidants, amino acids, profile, etc. of millets on payment basis and all? So,
Yes, IMR is able to take up these analysis. Right now, we are doing for our own research. If someone is interested to take up analysis on payment basis, we can explore it.
yeah. So the next question related to our PPT and all, yeah, dear participants, the materials will be shared with you. The presentations as well as the compendium is being prepared. So at the end of the our short course will be provided based on your attendance in the all the sessions. And regarding Manas Mohan, Mr. Mahanas Mohan is asking about the bit data, proso millet, kodo millets, and the state as well as in the old level. So yeah, you can get the data also. So we have some sessions related to the economics as well as the marketing and data related of the millets availability in the entire country in the world. So during this session, you can interact with our resource person, sir, Manas Mohan. Yeah. So most of the questions are, madam, with relevant to with specific to the resource person. So hopefully this session is benefited to the almost 400 plus participants during this short period of time. So I thank on behalf of the organizing committee to you, ma'am, for sparing time with us. So if anything is there, we'll let you know regarding some questions and all.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
And all the best for the coming days, and all the course participants and the course instructors and the resource persons. So hope this course will be beneficial to you all. Thank you once again. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.